Hey everyone, a friend of mine asked me to do an updated video on the daily activities that I do so that he doesn't miss anything. So I thought I'd go ahead and do that. First thing in the morning, I usually run Overlord and collect the key from the previous time. Now you can save up your keys for Overlord till the end of the week and collect them all at once, and that way you have a better shot of getting something like a unique set of items versus the same thing over and over. But I make sure to run my Overlord every day. In addition, I usually run my stamina dungeons every day. And this is good because if you look at the top, you get the chests, and then there's the Overlord chests also. So unless they're running a some sort of event for a race for one of the dungeons, I usually just do the easiest dungeon here, maybe another one in adventure, and one of them in the old world, because usually you have a daily activity sometimes for doing an old world dungeon. So here I just did Soul and the other one. Under the events tab, I do the Dark Spire, and that's once a week. This is important for the best jewelry that you can get. On the Dark Spires page, you can see I have 8 out of 8 on the other one and 12 out of 12 here. That means I've received all of the rewards I can for Dark Spire for this week. I also do any of the other dungeons that are open. They give various rewards and are usually pretty quick. If Hero is open, that's a once a week activity also. I run Hero. I don't do this one on Adventure. I do the first 2 on Adventure sometimes. And I don't get to this every week, but I try because this is good for charms and emblems, and there's some various other rewards in there. For Pantheon, I try to do Pantheon. That's also a once a week. Only do the first one because that's the easiest, and the other ones are really just done for a race, and you only get rewards for doing that once a week. You don't get rewards for doing the hires or anything special or extra for the hires. Under the PvP menu, you can do some of these. This gives honor points for the shop, and also on the bottom tab, the honor, the title you want to work at getting, higher of that, because the higher that title's a very good one, and you should be equipping that. So if you get a chance to run PvP, which I often do not, but I try to do it when I can, just so that I can get that title higher. And the honor shop has titles that have permanent stat increases, which I also am still working on. Under the growth tab, I collect all of the free stuff every day, and then I also go to the share thing and share. If you click the Facebook thing, you can then cancel out of it so that you don't actually have to post it on Facebook, and that way you are not posting a bunch of stuff to your Facebook account. The share gives some little rewards, and it is free. So then under the bonus menu, I go through each of these tabs and just collect all the free stuff, which are usually the crowns at the bottom corner. On the recover gift tab, it's usually just the first one that's free. The other ones cost diamonds, so I don't usually get those. Really just about everything under the daily events menu I try to do, because most of it gives bonuses for different things depending on what you're trying to up. The world events are good to do especially if you're working on your legendary weapons still, or even if you haven't worked on it yet. You can do each of these events. Also, I'm always trying to work on Tainted, so this little quiz thing that comes up whenever it does, it gives Tainted energy currently, so I try to complete this whenever I can. Back to the world events. If you complete these, you get shards for your legendary weapon. Most of the time it's the hearts that slow everybody down, because they are 100 gold each, which I really can't bring myself to pay for. So now if you do your Overlord Dungeon instead, you get that third chest. If you complete enough Overlords for the week, gives a primal heart for free every week. And so this has allowed me to start working on my legendary weapon again. For weekly events, if you complete all of the Overlord chests, there's other rewards in there that are great, as well as the dungeon chests. All 3 of those give additional rewards for upping various stuff that will increase your rate. Now after that, so also for the hearts, for the legendary, some of the festivals give these hearts as well, so you can work on those. I don't always see them, but they've been popping up more and more. Now in this case, I also might try to get the title for this, because If the title gives permanent stats, in this case, actually it doesn't. I thought it did. But they have this avatar thing which says that it unlocks permanent stats. So I did end up getting that one for this event. So anything where it unlocks a permanent stats, you can get those if you can, and that way it'll up your rate as well. Also, please just check the description below for this video, because I'm going to put a lot of links down there for the different events I'm talking about so you can get more information. Another daily event I try to do is the Rift one. This is 3 times a day, and it's newer, so I've been trying to do it every day, but I'm going to guess that I'm probably not always going to get to it. But that's another good one to run daily if you can. I'm going to put a link again in the description for more information on the Rift event. Under the daily event is also the Path of Uridan, which is the quiz thing that you can do. It's fairly quick and it gives free crowns, and various other rewards when you complete it. So I try to complete that daily if I can. Under the Guild Faction tab at the top, there is the construction guild thing, which is again a free thing. You just click the buttons every like 30 minutes or something. You can go into it and they autocomplete. So that's a great way to get stuff for your guild, or at least guild points, so you can purchase stuff in the shop. Under time limited are the bounty hunter events. That's once a week. Those are important to complete, and I make sure that I always complete those every week. Under the last tab for casual leisure is the Archaeology Tales. Now that one I do usually once a week as well. If you do it daily, you can do one a day, but if you miss a day or two, it builds up. So usually I go through that on Sunday and run all 7 of those one after the other, so that because I just usually don't have time during the week to do all of them. Also on this daily casual leisure tab is the cooking, fishing, and mining one. They used to be these long quests, and now you just go to the NPC and you collect all of them at once. Again, if you do those on Sunday, then you get all of them for the week, and you just have to do it one time. It is important to up your artifacts, so if you want to up your artifacts, you need to get tainted energy. Besides the little quizzes, which don't give a lot, and some of the events that have started giving more of it, is to go to the PvP area under PvP and faction and go to Island of Hero. And I usually take these quests when I just get into the island. I mean, they're like 9-minute autocomplete quests, so they're super easy to do. And then I run down and collect the tainted energy from the middle. Now, often I will also go in here and do the mining. Now there is a crystal energy, high crystal energy times when you get extra crafting materials, and so if you do those for the mining, you get bonus stuff. But I usually just come in and collect these little mining things. They lowered it a lot, so you only need about 10, and it's super fast to do. I don't even turn them in, honestly. Usually I turn them in when I need to enchant something, and then I have a ton and can turn them in for all this enchanting stuff I need right away. And since it takes no time virtually at all, it is super easy to complete. After that, go to the center section and auto attack for killing these mobs. It gives the higher tainted energy versus doing them on the outskirts. It gets less tainted energy. So these ones in the middle, I just go in and auto attack. It's a great AFK activity. Under the pet menu and expedition, I make sure to do this expedition 3 times a day to send my pets out for 10 expeditions. This is free crowns and all sorts of other various items that are free. So I try to do that pet expedition multiple times a day. Again, I have another video just on a pet expedition, so I will link that below. Under the mercenaries, I try to complete this as well, just because it takes very little effort and it's free. And here you get, in the 3rd tab down, you get free diamonds, and the bottom tab down, the 4th tab down, you get the free diamonds, and the bottom tab you get free crowns for completing this. This starts at noon and goes all evening, so that you can do once a day as well. Really easy AFK activities. Okay, under the guild menu, donate daily and donate vigor under resource exchange so that your guild can run more raids. I also run as many raids as I can, because the more raids you run, the more gold you get, because you get gold from all the items that sell as a result of the raids. Then also in the guild shop, I try to purchase some of the items in there. I usually get the ones at the bottom here that are sold out, not the mercenary. Those I try to get daily. I get the crystals just because I need them. And they also have totem crystals I just saw down here in the daily. So I might add to that to some of the items I get every day in the guild shop. Again, those are free just for participating in guild events. It's afternoon now, so again I'm going to go in and do the afternoon activities, which are the expedition, which again just leave your iPad, iPhone, or whatever on off to the side. These auto-complete, you just need to start them, and they don't take very long. Another afternoon event that I do is the fishing event. Now that is usually 3 times a week in the afternoons, so I go ahead and do that when I get a chance to, and that's super easy. Most of the time you don't have to pay attention. There are some things you have to interact with occasionally, but it is a good thing for various different rewards. Sorry, this is a little out of order. Under the world events that I just completed here, the gold event one, and so I'm going back to land for this one, and I can get the gold event chest, but the gold event activity still appears there, so I can go and do it a second time. Even though the chest is open and it doesn't look like you can get rewards, it still gives you rewards for running it a second time before that gold event disappears. So try to do that gold world event twice if you can per day. Okay, another reward for the fishing event is I've got this bag here, and I'm going to batch open it. And most of it, what it gives is like broken shards for the fishing, and that doesn't seem all that helpful. But if you go into your sell menu, you can scroll down towards the bottom and see those 2 items, and they actually sell for quite a bit of crowns. So go ahead and sell those items from the fishing event. Okay, besides the legendary shards, which you get from the world events, they also give these faction things, which didn't work out the way I wanted to in this video, but if you use those, you can up faction for a certain area, which will unlock items in the shop. If you go into the reputation shop, there are titles and relics that I usually buy here, as well as there's toys and various other items which will help up your rate and stats. Also, once a day I usually check under the chamber tab. There's various items that are useful here, especially the archaeology ones if they're listed at the bottom. You can get these if you don't have them already. You definitely should be getting them. It tells you on the side whether you have them and how many are activated. So just get the ones that you need for those. And if you need any other items, again, that resets every day at noon. Also, last but not least is the dance party. That will be under the events tab right under your map. And this only happens in the evening at 1800, I believe. And this is located in the tent next to the main city. There's various items you can get for, there's a lot of different items you can get for doing this. So go ahead and do that every night. I usually make sure to definitely do this every single day. It doesn't take very long, and you can do it, most of it, you can stand AFK while the timer goes down, and it gives you different items. So that would be probably the last thing I would recommend every day, and hopefully you found this helpful. You're watching VGO40, and this is VGO Girl, and we will see you next time in World of Kings.